Hey everyone, it's Gabby
and Danny
and Manny,
and you're listening to Oye, Let's Talk. Hey everyone, today we're going to be chatting about Sansgibing, one of the most American holidays that we love to celebrate because what goes better than family and food? Honestly, it should have been like a Latinx. It was probably inspired by the way we eat. I'm just saying. But in that note, like we do recognize that Thanksgiving can be a little problematic. That's why we're talking about Sansgiving, the way it is in our families and the way maybe Hispanic Latinx people celebrate it. So we're going to start off with what's on your table. What do y'all eat for Thanksgiving?
I think Manny should go first because I'm the vegetarian out of the group. So anyone is going to hear this and they're going to be like, but why?
Okay, so one of our obviously we rarely just have baked turkey, but I've been to like parties where they'll have like a Hispanic dish and they'll have your traditional baked turkey, but baked turkey is not a Hispanic staple. A lot of Hispanics don't like turkey because it's very dry meat and it's not their thing. And you know how we like to eat with a lot of sauce and a lot of flavor. So we usually, there was one year I can specifically remember we made a turkey fricassee. So it was just turkey and sauce.
Don't say
and that was really good. Why do you say it? Fricassee?
Yeah.
Fricassee. What's the Hispanic? What's the English translation to fricassee?
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Un fricassee is like a. I'm motioning with my hands as if like. It's like a fried it's like a fried thing, like in salsa, and like fried salsa, like you're like it's in salsa. I think that's what it means. Basically, there's a big huge pot with turkey and sauce being fried and boiled, I guess. But I have had also completely fried turkey, like deep fried turkey. At a family friend's house, and that was actually really good. It was way better than I expected. But definitely, I mean, and obviously, I feel like at some point at 1 year we had pork asado. We had a pork for Thanksgiving in my Cuban family at some point.
No doubt.
I don't remember.
No, that's the argument in my house. Like it should be like we should have turkey for Thanksgiving because every other holiday we're doing a pork. So my dad was the one who brought it up that he's like, I can't do ojo lechon in November and then be expected a whole month later to do another whole pork and then another one just a few weeks later. He's like, this is not a marathon.
I know.
He's like, we can bring out the mojo and season the turkey. We'll be fine.
Hello cholesterol, hello diabetes, hello all that fun stuff.
Listen, but it tastes good.
Oh, so
okay,
good.
So I've actually in the past tried turkey like once or twice in my life, like when I went to Disney World, for example, and they sell you like the leg. I didn't like it. I didn't. And I also like I recall like the school lunches where they like it looks gross, it tastes gross.
Bad example.
But no, I can't.
Yes, bad example.
So anyway, the vegetarian eats what's known as tofurkey. It's this tofu ball of like stuffed rice and like gravy. And why are you silently laughing at me, Manny? It's a real thing, and I want you to know it's delicious. And if you have the chance to try it. They sell it at Trader Joe's, at Whole Foods, at Publix.
But how do you cook it?
Tofurkey. You cook, so you have to. So it comes frozen. What are you like?
Frozen tofurkey. That sounds delicious.
Hater alert. Okay, so it comes frozen. You have to leave it out like a regular turkey, I guess, because it's frozen. And then like I don't remember. I remember making it last year by myself, but it was a whole mess. My mom really knows how to do it. But it comes with instructions on it. You basically put it in the oven like you would a real turkey. You have to cook it. I don't want to give a random time, but
pause. Wait. This is tofu shaped in a turkey?
Yes, except that it's much smaller.
Whoa, I'm glad Manny asked. I was thinking the tofu blocks.
No, it's legit.
I thought it was just like pieces of tofu, and you kind of call it tofu.
You cut it, and it's like the
stuffing.
Like the texture of it is I guess similar to it, where it's
Disgusting.
like chewy, and then it has like the gravy inside and the rice, and you can add anything to it. Also,
That's
like make your
interesting.
own
Okay.
stuffing on the side. Yeah, my mom makes it every year with like cranberry sauce and like vegetables and arrocito and I don't know, a bunch of
So,
other
follow up,
things.
are you the only one who eats the tofurkey?
No, my mom and my brother do. My dad gets a separate, I guess, turkey. Sometimes he's gotten like the chicken, like the Costco chicken that's like, is it baked? It's like baked
I
chicken.
don't
I can't
expect a
remember.
vegetarian to know. It's perfectly fine. But good to know, like,
It-
Thanksgiving sounds a little different in your house
It's a
already.
little different, yeah.
So, going
But
on
well,
that,
when
I still look forward to it because my mom goes all out. Like it's a big meal. I want to say we normally start like doing it in lunchtime, and then because it's such a big feast, there's leftovers for dinner and even the next day and the day after that. I don't know how you guys, if you guys traditionally eat it during dinner time like it's traditionally done in an American
but
setting, but
I think on Hispanic, honestly, in my family, I will speak on my family only. We're late for everything, so it's like, yeah, we end up eating Thanksgiving like at 10,
yeah, same. Like,
8 or 9, like super late.
like
pero
on Black Friday.
my family will be like, "Yo, we're gonna have dinner at 6, and everyone will show up at 7, but dinner's not ready until 10." It's incredible how like
Why?
it is a terrible Thanksgiving tradition to wait until forever to eat, but you just spent all day cooking.
Aren't you like starving by then?
Yes, we are.
No, you're picoteando the whole day.
Are you?
You're like eating the little croquetas and the pastelitos.
Your
I don't
parents
know about
let
all
you?
that.
I feel like my mom would have like slapped my hand. Like, no, you're gonna wait and you're gonna eat. Porque pobrecita de ti, que you're gonna like eat all this junk food before my big feast, and then you're gonna end up not eating anything, and
Exactly.
you're not getting out of the table unless you finish what's on your plate.
Okay, well, no, not that far. I'm an adult now, but
I
my-
know, but traditionally, historically speaking,
historically speaking, your mother cooks a tofurkey and makes sure you eat it when she sets it on the table. No sooner, no later. But
What about sides, guys?
ooh, okay. Actually, those are my favorite. I'm here. Like the turkey's great and everything. Like I didn't know people ate turkey beyond Thanksgiving. By the way, like for me, it's a once a year thing. Some people are like, "Oh, I cooked a turkey," or like they'll cook a whole hen or something, and I'm like, "Whoa, wait, it's not even November." And they're like, "You can have turkey any time of year." So heads up for anyone who is like ignorant like me, you can they sell turkey other times of the year. But anyway, sides. That's why I'm here. So I do also have dietary constraints, like my
right?
fellow host Daniela, and I can't eat dairy. So everyone loves like the mac and cheese and the mashed potatoes and stuff. I can eat mashed
My
potatoes,
favorite.
but I can't have them with milk and like only a certain amount of butter. But I do love my mashed potatoes. Corn is alright, but green bean casserole, love it, hate it, I love it. I'm a fan. I'm here for it. And cranberry sauce, also love. My mother's stuffing, I don't know how she does it. I've tried to emulate it, but I'm just not as good as she is. And those are the three things that I'm like, if those are leftovers, that's what I'm eating tomorrow. I'm perfectly happy. Y'all can have all the meat.
What about cornbread? I love
I
cornbread.
know.
No.
Cornbread.
It's a no for
I
me,
love.
fam.
I'm obsessed with cornbread.
We we actually get Hawaiian rolls or like Cuban bread sometimes instead of cornbread.
Excuse me? What?
Oh, Gabby, nah, you need the cornbread. Cornbread and the sweet potato pie. Those
Yes.
are always the best for me.
Apple pie,
But
pecan pie.
Apple pie is it though. Apple pie is it.
I will mention some Hispanic sides that are always at the table at any holiday party. There's always some de congria and the yuca, never missing. There could be the traditional American sides, but you always have congria and yuca.
Bro, facts.
Always.
My dad loves rice. We'll have mashed potatoes, but there's gonna be like even if it's leftovers the next day, there will be rice somewhere hidden. And for me, like it's is it a family dinner? If there's no yuca, like why are we here? What are we doing? Wait, Danny, are there any other vegetarian sides that like maybe I'm not thinking of?
I don't think so. I mean, everything else is pretty standard, like the cornbread, the sauces, the veggies on the side. My mom likes to do these like steamed green beans with um the caramelized almonds, and they
Ooh,
taste
Mm.
delicious.
That actually sounds really good.
It's legit.
yeah.
I'm not having the turkey at Danny's house, but I'll have some of the
Yeah, I was
sides.
gonna say the tofurkey we weren't sold on, but she said caramelize, and we were like, yes.
They're good.
Well, apart from that, like eating, I guess, or food, what are some other traditions that y'all celebrate or that y'all typically do for Thanksgiving?
I don't know about you guys, but there's no, there's really, I feel like in American culture, the usual Thanksgiving traditions like watching football, watching the parade, eating around the family. And I think the only commonality that my Hispanic family would have to those cultures or that culture would be just us eating. That's it. That's for my family. Thanksgiving's just another day to get together and party and eat. There's always music at a Hispanic party. There's always great food, drinks, and people to talk crap with. That is all.
El chisme gets so real
Yes.
to catch up with.
No,
Like,
Yes.
fact.
¿qué hace el primo y el tío con la tía que se divorció no sé quién? Oh my God, watch out, the tea is real.
Yeah.
So actually last year for the first time I did Thanksgiving with my I guess now fiance's family and I was meeting some of his family for the first time, like extended family. And after every gathering, they're really into bingo. But like you actually play for money. Like you have to throw the coins in and stuff. And I was like, yo, y'all are
That's so
serious.
legit.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, I'll pay to have extra cards. So they have like 3 cards, and then they're like, whose turn is it to call the numbers? And they'll take the money home. They're like, oh, I made $6 or $7. Like they don't care, but they're
I
really
love
into that.
it.
That's
No,
cute. That's cute. I
I
like
was
that.
shocked. And in my family we always do like a toast for Thanksgiving. We're not like super religious, but my brother is very Christian and my grandmother is extremely Catholic. So someone tends to do a prayer. But it normally ends in like semi a joke. Sorry for anyone who thinks that's sacrilegious, but then we're like, and thank you to whoever threw down this food today, or thank God we get to eat before midnight. Like that's kind of how we do. It's a tradition to like make fun of someone before we begin eating, pretty much.
Love.
Roast someone before you have your food.
Exactly.
Gabby, I'm so glad you mentioned that portion because I was like, I can't really remember a lot of times we actually prayed or gave thanks before we ate. And I think that's so rude because that's like the importance of Thanksgiving. Hey, let's give thanks. But my Cuban family ain't about that. Like, we're just eating. We're all thankful to be here. Let's just eat. That's so embarrassing
A
to
comer.
admit. Like, yeah. I think it's been a few. I can only remember one time that we actually stopped. Everyone was around the table and we prayed. It's usually like, oh, let's serve the food. It's time to eat.
Mm-hmm. No, for all the time, you'll always hear it at least once. It's where's the beer or mi cerveza before we start eating because everyone wants to have their drinks when they eat and we're done. And then, like, I guess cleaning up, I guess the tradition is as you get older, like the younger kids clean up more or they set up the table. But I'm getting kind of salty because not that I'm one of the oldest ones, I'm kind of in the middle between cousins and stuff. And I'm like, yo, why does it fall on me still? I'm 25. Can this is a tradition now? Gabby does the cleaning up or like sets the table. This is messed up.
Is it because it's always held in your house? Maybe you're seen as like the host of the event?
No, it's typically held at my grandma's house or actually my family, like we've done Thanksgiving in different places with different people. It's never just a family affair. Because
Yes.
actually this year like we'll be going to Tennessee where my aunt is, my dad's sister,
Mm.
and then sometimes we'll spend time with like my mom's brother or like last year I wasn't part of the my family's Thanksgiving festivities because I went to my boyfriend's families. But still, like I'm still the person. I maybe it's just a personality trait that I'm like, let me set the table, and then I'm like, oh, I guess I'll help clean up because people like kind of just got up and that's it. So, not to throw anyone under the bus, but if you're listening to this, remember to be courteous this Thanksgiving.
True.
Be great.
Gabby, I think you're just too nice, so you just start picking up like unconsciously, and then now you're like, oh, now I'm just picking up the entire table. What?
I'm pretty
That's
sure that
annoying.
happens. But actually, another thing that I discovered, some people take Black Friday super seriously. Like
Oh my God.
I never went Black Friday. Like I would go to bed, maybe watch a movie or something, or like stay up all night talking with family members, and then the next day go Black Friday shopping. But some people are like, dinner's done, the table is picked up, let's go. And I'm like, what? So
Mm,
I don't know, is that like a thing for y'all?
my parents were always very against consumerism and like they never wanted to buy into that whole thing. So like
Your
I
family's
only
so woke.
recall I know no, little me was like low key annoyed, high key annoyed. So, like, I remember one time we ended up going to BrandSmart USA. Like, my mom and I just randomly, I don't know why. I don't know if she was buying like a kitchen appliance or something, but it was a mess. I remember just being like, I don't know, probably like in elementary school, and I was being pushed around, and I ended up getting a movie. I don't know if it was Mean Girls or what the movie was, like a DVD that was like super cheap. It was like $5 or something. But like, we probably stayed like in that line for a good maybe 3 hours, and we never did it again. Like,
For one movie?
now, no. Well, from my mom's kitchen appliance, but like, not once we were there and I saw something that I wanted, we ended up getting the movie as well. But like, nowadays, I just shop online. Like, if I need a coat or if I need like extra shoes or whatever, like, I give myself that like luxury of like looking through stuff, and then I always end up buying something because I do.
So actually, one of my fondest memories was when I was in middle school, early high school. I think my freshman year actually. I really wanted a nice camera because I was in yearbook and like I wanted to learn how to use a camera before I went into more journalism classes, and a cool DSLR, which back then like megapixels were it. That's the only thing you cared about in cameras,
Mhm.
which they've evolved so much since then. And my dad was like, okay, we can go and get you this expensive camera, but you need to find a good deal. So I found a deal unknowingly that was only going to be for Black Friday. It was going to be a doorbuster. So basically, like every few hours, the prices would bump up a little bit. So my dad and I waited after one Thanksgiving, like outside of BrandSmart. And because I knew what I wanted, like I went in, I was like, I need this one. And it was a doorbuster. So like we were in and out in 15 minutes, but we waited outside like 3 hours.
What a rush.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I got good use of that camera and a really good deal, but I just look back now and I like just didn't want to. I would never do that again. And I am so grateful that my father was willing to wait with me and teach me that lesson of patience. And maybe Black Friday is not the funnest, but yeah, I don't
I,
mind going shopping, but it's definitely like not a must do on Thanksgiving.
guys, I've never been Black Friday shopping. Like, at least I've never waited in line the day before, like right after. I know some of my cousins have done it, but that's never been my gig. And my parents are kind of like Danny's parents. They're not about that whole consumerism, like, falling trap into that. So I don't have a good story, and I'm proud of saying I've never never waited in line multiple hours for an item. No, it's all online this year, guys. It's all
Pretty
online.
much.
You don't have to die.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I'm
no,
gonna miss that though. I do actually enjoy going shopping and like looking at stuff, and especially for the holidays. I just feel like not that.
But not on Black Friday.
No, no, I do.
no, it's too hectic.
Yeah, it's a
It's
lot. I'm
disgusting.
not even gonna lie, but
It's a
I
lot.
actually frequently go Black Friday shopping. Like it's kind of part of the my Thanksgiving tradition now, whether we like it or not. And to be honest, part of it is because Lewis, my man's, he's like Black Friday is the real holiday for me. Like that's what he's into
No,
when it
it's
comes to
not a holiday.
Thanksgiving.
Whether you like to indulge in it, that's fine. You do you, honey boo boo. But no, it is not a holiday. Also, I feel like it makes like the whole traditional aspect of Thanksgiving, like, I feel like it loses its meaning. We're literally giving thanks
Facts.
for everything that we have, being grateful and
And then
gracious,
off to
and
go
then
be
we're
greedy.
thinking about, yeah,
No,
no,
I agree. And also, like, I think about all the people,
America.
like, how Black Friday can ruin their holiday. Because my brother, for instance, when he was working in retail, he's like, oh, I really want us to have Thanksgiving a little earlier because I have to go to work at night because I'm working Black Friday. And so I'm just thinking of all the people, like, who have to either adjust their Thanksgiving plans just to make sure they get the hours or the overtime because it is a period where they start hiring more people or they're willing to pay the overtime or like seasonal workers and such. So it's a good time to make money if you're really in need, but it's a sad time to like miss out on family or traditions and such just because other people want to buy these things at that hour. So not shaming anyone who goes Black Friday shopping. It's going to look different this year obviously, but I think we've all come to the consensus of it's cool, but like definitely could do it a different way. Don't have to go waiting in line for all that time. And that actually kind of brings me to my next point. Like, what is the meaning of Thanksgiving for you all?
For me personally, I think obviously within the great context of everything, growing up, you would do school activities of like what you're thankful for, like, exercises. I remember like in elementary school, like, what are you most thankful for? And I feel like we've always grown up with like, Thanksgiving is a time to give thanks. But I feel like I'm gonna be devil's advocate right now, and it could be like it's like Valentine's Day. Like, is there one moment in the year where you're supposed to love your significant other? No, you're supposed to be thankful every day. It doesn't take this one moment. The thing that I enjoy, what means most, is being obviously taking that moment to reflect on all the good things that have happened to you throughout the year, and be in that moment with your family and friends to celebrate that togetherness and that unity. And I feel like sometimes we easily forget the historical context of it and why we even celebrate it, and even the whitewashing of that story that we mindlessly mindlessly follow when we're growing up as kids. And I feel like now that we're adults, I think that's a question I'm going to ask you guys. Do you guys think, obviously, what it means to you guys, and how does history and the historical context mean to you guys?
So I'm gonna actually hop on this first, like for historical context. Basically, the colonizers decided to have some food with the Indians in the 1620s, and it's noted as the first Thanksgiving. But for a few centuries, like they kind of celebrated it differently depending on which colony and which state you were in. And it wasn't until 1863, so if you think about it, like Civil War period, that Lincoln, who some may argue was a problematic president, proclaimed National Thanksgiving Day. So I think it's like very much it was a patriotic decision to when the country was like in a moment of unrest, and to help unite everyone as Americans. And it also kind of othered, I guess, the indigenous people. I don't like to say like, oh, it's because like we had a nice dinner with Indians and the first harvest and stuff. Like, I feel like that's part of the whitewashing history that we learned. Like, everything was strategic at the end of the day. If you want to like turn to Pocahontas, like that kind of gives you a good vibe of some people got along, most didn't, and the colonizers for the most part just kind of were looking at how to use the land to their advantage and to take advantage of the land. So even though we're grateful that we learned about, or the colonizers are grateful that they learned about this new land to them, and they're grateful that they were able to settle here, like the actual meaning to Thanksgiving, like the historical context makes me realize like it's kind of similar to, I guess, most of our backgrounds. Like, I'm Cuban Panamanian. Like, somewhere down the line someone thought that they could either run the island better or run the country better or do things differently and take advantage of the people who were already there. But over all of these centuries, all of these years, I think Thanksgiving like has just taken on a personal meaning for me. It's a reminder that to like take a deeper look at holidays and how we celebrate them, and to create your own meaning as well. I know I'm kind of rambling, but no, as Manny said, we don't need a reason to get together as a family, but because my family uses it as a reason, I value it. And now that I don't live with them and working in news, like sometimes I remember my first Thanksgiving away, I had to work Thanksgiving. So it was just me and Lewis, and I was working the shift. So it was like buying Boston Market and eating it at the news station. And that's not to say it was like a sad time. It was very valuable for me and Lewis as a couple, but it made me realize, like, your family gatherings are numbered.
I echo what you say, Gabby, and thank you so much for talking about that historical context. I think it's important that we also talk about, not everything that is taught to us is the real perception, and know that it's a one-sided, I guess, history lesson that is being taught to us at such a young age, but it kind of sticks with us, right? Like, I remember learning about it in, I don't know if it was second or third grade, the Pilgrims and uniting with Native American Indians, and that whole, unison of events and bringing people together. And I think nowadays, and maybe I can speak for a lot of Hispanics in our community, that we don't really think about the American historical context per se. It's just an excuse to get together, have fun, dance salsa, dance merengue, watch, whether that be sports or some sort of entertainment, whether that be playing games. Like I used to play Rock Band a lot with my family. Like we would sing and play the guitar and the drums. That was super fun. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is another holiday, I think, for me, and a chance to just reunite with family if I'm not working and if I can fly out to see them.
That was super sweet. I like it. I think it's nice to know that we all value Thanksgiving for what it was supposed to be, and that's being grateful for what we have and who we're with, and grateful for the times that we're spending together. So, with that being said, we want to hear.
Wait, no. With that being said, I'm sorry to cut you
Go
off,
ahead.
Gabby. I want to take this opportunity because we started this project about a little over a year ago. So I'm very grateful that we're here a year later
Yes.
and that we've come this far with our project. Gabby, thank you for inviting me to come onto this project. And Danny, it's been so much fun, and this is one of the things that I'm going to be grateful for. So I just want to be grateful for you guys and grateful to our listeners.
Cheers, you guys. Happy 1 year.
That was
Cheers.
cute. Yes. I really appreciate it. It's been a long road, but I'm glad. Who would have thought that in 2020 we would be recording a Thanksgiving podcast?
I
And
feel like we've learned so much and we've grown so much.
100%. Yeah.
and that goes to the same for you viewers, listeners. That's the same for you listeners. I'm sure you've grown and changed a whole lot too, and there's much more that you're thankful for this holiday as we approach a time of family, unity, and especially during such a unprecedented and crazy year. So we hope that this year you can say, Oye, let's talk about what we're grateful for. And make sure to leave us your comments on Instagram, or go ahead and send it in to Oye Let's Talk Podcast on IG, but through the DMs. Thank you.